Georgia 31, Auburn 13. Most of you probably didn't watch a lot of this game. I felt very strongly about this game. I felt like Georgia would win. I felt like Auburn would cover. The number was way too big, I thought. And it ended up closing at like 3 touchdowns. It ended up closing at 21. It was up to 24.5 during the week. 2 Chalai on the 1 to 5 Chalai rating scale. Interesting vibe here. Because Auburn's not a bad team when they don't turn the ball over. Kind of knew that. Kind of talked about that. I asked, if we just get an even turnover game, how in the world is Auburn a 24.5-point dog? Well, we got an even turnover game, and Auburn well within the margin there, but still lost. The box score actually makes this thing look way scarier than the final. The final's 31-13, comfortable Georgia win, right? 381 to 337 yardage. The rushing totals 141 to 137. Passing 240 to 200. First downs 21 to 18. Neither of them turned the ball over. Average yards per play, 5.8 to 5.8. This sounds like an evenly played game. Here is the problem, as it was in so many games yesterday. Georgia, 4 for 4 in the red zone for 28 points. That's as good as you can do. Auburn, 2 for 2. They kicked 2 field goals inside Georgia's 10. That was the difference in the game. You don't really need to know a whole lot more about that. We finally got the 0 turnover game from Auburn. That's the good news. Bad news is Georgia's pretty good, and they didn't let them capitalize on opportunities. There was a moment after this game, I think courtesy of our friends down at Fox 5 in Atlanta, where Kirby was talking about something that I have not heard him have to talk about at Georgia before, but I knew if they kept winning, could become an issue. And believe it or not, this is a big point of consternation right now amongst some Georgia folks. So I'm going to have Colin play the sound, and then I'll talk about it on the other side.
It was a great victory for Georgia. Tell you what, it was hot out there today, Shock. And if anything, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. And I'm probably disappointed in our fans for the first time that I thought there was, a lack of really affecting the game, crowd noise-wise, passion and energy. And, hey, it was hot, but our players got full pads on, helmets, pads, and it's hot out there. And they're pushing, trying to have a home field advantage like we've had when we've played against teams. And I can't get crowd noise. And that's frustrating for me, so I just be honest about it. I think we got to do a better job as fans. And I know I got to do a better job as a coach, but we need these fans to support us, and these players need them behind them.
Remember when Saban was during his run at Alabama, and I would always talk about something called the consequences of success, and then Kirby went to Georgia and started winning, and I started talking about how they would start suffering the consequences of success. You always want to be in position to suffer from those consequences because it means you're winning a whole lot. Winning a whole lot does not mean you lose problems. It means you have a new set of problems. And this is one that they're dealing with. Now, keep in mind, they went and played in Bryant-Denny last Saturday night and saw the most incredible environment I think that exists in college football right now. And then they went back home and he saw a lesser than version. And it's certainly lesser than what they've had there in the past. Now, I'm all for ticket holders doing whatever they want to do. But Georgia folks know there was a different hunger in your gut when you walked in that stadium in 2017 or 18 than there is right now against a team that you're favored by over 3 touchdowns against. It's human nature. I'm not blaming you. It's human. That's the way it is. By the way, check back when they play Tennessee in a few weeks. If Tennessee's still on the same level they are right now, probably sounds a little different in a few weeks when they play them there. But there is a thing that happens when you're dominant for a long time, and that is complacency. You're fighting it. Like you're fighting it as a football program, and fans don't have to fight it as much because they're not being graded like you are. But make no mistake, when you're expected to win every game significantly, you do not feel threatened very often when you walk in Sanford Stadium and go sit in section whatever you sit in. And that's just the way it is. And it'll always happen. That right there, what he's talking about, it happened with Saban at Bama, and he started having to complain about it. It would happen to anyone. There is no university, I don't care what the most rabid fan base in the world you think exists. If you go there and you win for a sustained period of time, there will be complacency that sets in amongst the fan base. It's a great thing. It's not fun to deal with, but it is a great thing. So there's no real blame to go around. If you want to blame someone, blame Kirby for winning too much, I guess. But I found that funny because I had more people ask me about that than asked about the game. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Georgia's got the 3rd best odds to win the SEC right now. And they still have plenty of football left to play.